Welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com and Krista Joy from DisneyWays.com. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. And get ready for the Disney Parks Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. We've got some exciting news for you today about Trader Sam's and their grand opening, the DTech Me experience, and also Tomorrowland, the movie. But first, we want to kick it off with an announcement and a contest for a $100 Disney gift card. That's right. We're giving away another one. And for this one, we want to thank Big Ears Adventures. Big Ears Adventures is helping make all your vacation dreams come true. They specialize in Disney vacation packages. There's no fees when you go with Big Ears Adventures, so you have more of your money to spend on your dream vacation. They've got over 20 years of experience. Be sure to check out their website for all the latest specials. Our thanks to the sponsor of this $100 Disney gift card prize, BigEarsAdventures.com. So, Tony, you want to tell everybody how they can enter to win this wonderful gift card?
All right, so we want you to go get the Show Your Disney Side mobile app. It's for Apple or for Android. We want you to go get that app, put it on your phone, and then we want you to take a Disney Side photo using the app, and we want you to post that on our Facebook page. So go to Facebook.com/Disney Parks Podcast, and we'll have a thread pinned right to the top. I'll even post one of mine so that can see how crazy I am. And then you can post your photo of you, your family, whatever you want. There's a lot of cool little pictures that you can take with the app. We will then pick one person at random and send you the $100 gift card provided by BigEarsAdventure.com travel. Okay, let's say that you have to do this. We're going to do this starting Thursday. Let's say you will have until next Thursday, and I don't even have a calendar, so I don't know what date that is. But you'll have 1 week, so we're going to say 7 days, from Thursday to Thursday, to do this. After that, all bets are off, and we'll be done. So
yeah, we're talking April 2nd to April 9th.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's somebody with a calendar. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see everybody's fun photos and crazy pictures. I know the one of me in the crystal off is priceless because I look great with blonde hair. I'm just saying. Come on, I do. You know I do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And now, Disney Parks Podcast News.
All right, so getting on with the Disney news, the first interesting thing that it's in the news, and I've been trying to get to Tom Sawyer Island for the last 3 weekends. And I don't know why I haven't been able to get there. Something has been stopping me. Some evil force has been stopping me from going to Tom Sawyer Island. But it turns out that Aunt Polly's on Tom Sawyer Island is now open and serving food and beverages again. Now, a long, long time ago in a far-off Adventureland, they used to have this place called Aunt Polly's that used to serve food. And it's very rarely ever open, but now it is. Now, before you get too excited, know that the menu is very limited. Think about this. They have to get food out to the island. There's not like a ferry boat or a Mark Twain boat to get food out there. It's very limited, but you will find sandwiches. They have a turkey and a PB&J. They have veggies and hummus. They have some fresh fruit, and then assortments of cold beverages, including lemonade. Now, they don't have any fountain drinks out there, so these are all bottled drinks, not fountain drinks. So take that into consideration when you go out there. Don't be looking for, your Diet Coke unless it's going to be in a bottle. The other thing is that we're hearing is Aunt Polly's is only open through the end of the spring break rush. So cast members have been saying that it's around April 11th it'll be open till. But you never know. It could be open, sometime again, maybe later in the summer when it gets busy again, as another place to get food. I think this might be an interesting place to keep open for the 24-hour event, as a good place to get a snack.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at least then you can get people off the park area and onto the island. If you can get people out there, if they had like a special thing out there, just think of how many people they'd be able to get off of the regular park area and out on the island. I think that would be great. I think it might even help the crowd some. So, hey, listen, Disney, this is all free advice we give to you. We're thinking keep it open for the 24-hour event. I don't think they do, and I think one of the reasons is there's no lighting out there. So once nighttime comes, you really can't see anything. They probably could certainly put some temporary lighting out there for the 24-hour event and make this a great place to get a snack. And, maybe even have some special things out there. Have a DJ or a dance party on the island.
That would be great. Call
it Pleasure Island, not Tom Sawyer Island.
How about that?
Yeah. All right.
I love it.
So I'm hoping to get out there. Once again, I'm saying it again. I'm hoping to get out there sometime this weekend. I'm hoping. It's Easter weekend, so I'm thinking maybe it might be a nice time to sneak out there because I think not a lot of people go to the park on Easter Sunday. It doesn't really get crowded until later in the days. I think I may sneak out there in the morning and check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it, or I would have went out there and looked too, or tried to. So next up, of course, the big news this week, Trader Sam's Grog Grotto is now in soft openings at Disney's Polynesian Resort. So if we can just go back and talk about what exactly is a soft opening. And basically that means that you could find Trader Sam's in operation during a visit to the Polynesian from now until it's really officially open, which that is expected to be in late April. But it can be closed at any given time to continue necessary work or anything like that. So that's the deal. They open and close at will. Now, if you do get into Trader Sam's, some of the cool things that you can expect are cocktails. Obviously. So we've got things like a shrunken zombie head, the dark and tropical stormy, spiky pineapple, mosquito mojito, Tahitian torch, a rum flight. Sam's also has no booze brews. So non-alcoholic drinks at Trader Sam's include the Skipper Sipper and the Schweitzer Falls. And then they've also got a limited food menu. And from what I understand, one of the things on the menu is like pan-fried dumplings. And those are actually different than the ones that they have at Ohana. They also have lots of fun souvenir cups and things that you can take home with you. And then, the real fun actually is that the entire place is interactive. From the chairs to the walls, everything is just built for fun. Absolutely. And it's all kind of themed to the enchanted tiki bar at the Disneyland Hotel. So there's tiki statues and shrunken heads, volcanic view out the quote unquote windows. But this one also has a nautical twist to it. Speaking of a nautical twist, there is a drink called the Nautilus, which is a large drink that's got about 5 shots of different kinds of rum and alcohol, and I don't know what else, but it's a big drink. I heard rumors that this was a $50+ drink, and it's actually true. So for I think it's $52 plus tax, you too can have a Nautilus to share with your friends and then bring home the souvenir glass. So there you have it. Lots to check out at Trader Sam's. People are waiting up to 3 hours for a pager. And once you get that pager, it can be another 3 hours before you're actually seated. This little tiny bar only holds 51 people. And I think I read that there's like 80 seats out on the patio. To say it's tough to get into is an understatement. So interested to see how they're going to be kind of handling all that. But it was just so much excitement and so much buzz about Trader Sam's, and it's exciting that it's open. It's fun seeing some of the pictures on Facebook. Some of our friends got in on the first day. Pretty cool stuff. So there you have it.
Yeah, it'll be a hit. It'll be popular with the locals as well as the tourists. So we'll have to see how things go.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that they couldn't make this a little bit bigger. I mean, the one at Disneyland is small because of its location. With us having the blessing of size, we should have gotten a little larger Trader Sam's, but I guess they decided not to do that.
Yeah, well, and we want to remind everybody, too, that May 1st, we're going to have a monorail crawl to see you there. There is a Facebook event page up, and I need to add it to the website as well. But May 1st, if you want to meet us for the monorail crawl, we're going to end up at the Polynesian, and if possible, maybe peek our head into Trader Sam's. It would be a miracle, I think, if we actually got in there. But we will visit the Tamu Tamu Lounge, and I'm imagining Lapu Lapus will be available. So it'll still be a fun night, don't you think, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Either way. Trader Sam's or no Trader Sam's. That's we'll have fun.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Star Wars weekends are coming up, and this year they have 2 new D-Tech Me experiences. So this year they're adding 2 new figures to the Star Wars weekends. It's one of the most popular activities to do at the Disney Hollywood Studios for Star Wars weekend. Is the D-Tech experience. Now, you need a reservation for this, so just don't go running to the park and do this. You can make a reservation once you get to the park. I would highly advise that you do it beforehand, and we will give you the number to do that. This year, Disney is adding 2 new options to the mix. They are adding a Jedi Knight and a TIE Fighter pilot. In addition to the 4 previous molds that will be returning, which are the Carbon Freeze Me, the Han Solo, the Empire Strikes Back, the Stormtrooper, the Princess, and the X-Wing pilot. So you can purchase your 7-inch figure for $119.95 plus tax and shipping and handling, or you can purchase the 16-inch figure for $995. Actually, take that back. $999.95, which doesn't include the tax and also does not include shipping. So to book your experience, call 407-WDW-TECH. A credit card number will be required to hold the reservation, and cancellation fees may apply. Keep in mind that theme park admission is also required to enter the park. Children can participate, but they must be at least 3 years or older. An adult must be with them at all time. The experience will be offered during Star Wars weekends this year, which will be May 15th through the 17th, May 22nd through the 24th, May 29th through the 31st, June 5th through June 7th, and June 12th through June 14th. I think $1,000 for a piece of plastic is a little ludicrous, even if it does look like me. Throwing that out there, people. If you have $1,000 that you would like to spend on a piece of plastic, please email DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com, and we can help you spend that $1,000 in a much better way. Right? I mean, that's out of this world.
Yeah.
$1,000 for a 16-inch piece of plastic. I love my Star Wars, but not that much.
Right on.
We should mention, too, that this will be done in Darth Maul's shopping area, wherever that's going to be this year, because I don't think it's going to be in last year's place, because I believe that will be being prepared for the Toy Story Mania expansion. So we'll have to see. Maybe they're going to put it back where it used to be, in a tent behind the Tower of Terror.
Time will tell.
Yep.
There's some rumors going around about Disney's Hollywood Studios in relation to a new entrance. Rumors are, indicating that there could possibly be a new entrance to Hollywood Studios, and photos have been found recently that may help to prove that the rumors are correct. Now, it could be that, or it could be that, it has something to do with potential work going on for the park. We're not really sure. But the deal is there's a new right turn lane at the intersection of Buena Vista Drive and Victory Way. And right below that, there's like a dirt roadway, and that extends west from Victory Way into the woods toward the Disney Hollywood Studios parking lot. And so the park's second entrance off Buena Vista Drive would be restricted to buses only. And then the rumor has it that cars would enter and exit the studios lot from the new access road connecting to Victory Way, which would push traffic exiting the studios more directly toward the Osceola Parkway. And this would be a good thing if it's true, because it would eliminate the current bottleneck when guests exiting the parking lot are stuck at a traffic light to get onto the Buena Vista Drive, where they then often face additional backups to get onto World or Epcot Center Drive. A little bit of a rumor about, this roadway. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess it could only be a good thing if it's true, right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised they haven't done this sooner, made this happen, because if you think about the construction on Buena Vista Drive now with Disney Springs, it really is a kind of a crazy bottleneck of all of the traffic in that area now. So I'm really surprised they haven't done this just to relieve that pain over there. This has been going around for a while. Rumors are Star Wars Land is going to be on that side of the park, and it could be that they're, getting ready to prep that area. Either way, entrance, no entrance, Star Wars expansion, Star Wars, something's happening because we can definitely see the big plow mark on the map. So I think something's going to happen. We'll find out at probably the expo when they announce everything to us.
Yeah, either this one or Tokyo's expo.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
All right. Disney's got a ton of films lined up for this year. I mean, we're in March, and I don't even think we've seen the best of them yet. One movie that is coming out is Tomorrowland, and I have seen some previews for this. I kind of broke my rule because I wanted to see kind of what they were going to, just the name of it, Tomorrowland, invokes this thing in my head of, the first time I went to the park, it was, first place we went was Tomorrowland, and all of what we saw there, If You Had Wings and Carousel Progress and all that kind of stuff. So this really invokes a passion, and I really wish they would do something with that land in the park. But we are having a movie. It is starring George Clooney and Hugh Laurie and a bunch of other great actors. Here's what's coming. If you are visiting Walt Disney World, head over to Epcot and go to the Imagination Pavilion, and they are going to show a little teaser of Tomorrowland, the movie. So I think that's fantastic, and I believe they are going to use some of the in-theater effects while they show this movie to make it even a little bit better. But the sad news is that Captain EO is going to go bye-bye for a little while. So we'll have to see what happens and see if Captain EO comes back. I don't think he is, because I'm hearing a rumor that this whole pavilion is going to be reimagineered. So I think once this preview is gone, I think they'll just shut it all down, do their rehab that they've been wanting to do.
Yes. So April 9th is the last day of Captain EO. We should go sing "We Are Here to Change the World" one last time, hold hands, and go on our way.
Yeah. And if you haven't, we just posted a great interview with Terry Hardin. So go back to that interview and you can hear Terry talk about her whole Captain EO experience with Michael Jackson and George Lucas and the whole gang. And I think you'll laugh like we did, and you'll really enjoy that interview. So go back one episode and listen to Terry Hardin talk about Captain EO.
Yes, good stuff. Really fascinating. So this is exciting. We've got some D23 events coming to Orlando. Yay! We're always hoping for D23 events around here. Now, all events and dates are subject to change, but here's what we're hearing so far. April 18th is going to be Waking Up with Sleeping Beauty at AMC, Downtown Disney 24, Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And that one's going to feature our friend and yours, Lon Smart, who is going to be like emceeing the event. So I hope I can go to that one. Are you going to go to that one, Tony?
I am. I have my tickets already.
Awesome.
And it is not sold out. I just checked today, so it's still not too late to get a ticket.
Cool. Okay, great. And then June 6th is Let's Get Together with the Parent Trap, again, at AMC Downtown Disney 24. And I'm guessing they're just going to show the movie there. And then June 6th is Mickey's of Glendale Orlando shopping event. The location is to be announced, but it will be at Walt Disney World Resort, obviously. And then October 3rd, they're going to do a sip and stroll at Epcot. November 14th, Mickey's of Glendale Orlando shopping event again at Walt Disney World Resort. And Disney has confirmed after a few days of speculation that all existing exhibits inside Innoventions West at Epcot are going to be closing. So the expected closing date is April 30th. And while, it's not really rare for Innoventions exhibits to close and be replaced, the last time the entire pavilion or a whole side of it was shut down was when it was converted from Communicore to Innoventions way back in 1994. So where's the fire? IBM Think and the Great Piggy Bank Adventure will close forever. And the reason for that is the Disney spokespeople are saying that the sponsorship agreements with the exhibitors has changed. So they're going to be preparing for a new experience there. Innoventions at Disneyland is closing permanently at the end of March 2015, which is now, or in the past when you hear this. So is Innoventions West at Epcot coming back, or is this the start of something else planned for the park? Who knows? Any speculation on what's going to happen with Innoventions, Tony?
I am not sure. This is an interesting question. I've been pondering this since I kind of saw this rumor going around. I was thinking to myself, what would they put there? I can't even imagine. And I believe so. Innoventions West is also on the same side as, I believe, the Imagination Pavilion. Now, I don't know if those two things are the same or are they different. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I hope they put some other things in there that reflect Innoventions, things of the future, things that we might see in the future. And, I really wish they would have done the same thing at Tomorrowland, because Tomorrowland doesn't reflect tomorrow anymore. It's more like yesterland. So we'll have to see. I think this will be an interesting experience if they do it right and they get the right sponsors in there. Also talking about those D23 events, there's a couple interesting ones there. The Mickey's at Glendale, if you don't know what that is, there's a store called Mickey's at Glendale, and it is on the Walt Disney Studio lot in Burbank. And typically only Imagineers can shop at this store because it's only Imagineering merchandise. It's all things that say, WED on it, or Imagineering, or Disney is Imagineering. When they bring these stores outside of the Burbank lot, they are very popular. There's one at the Expo typically, and there's usually a line. And literally, you can wait 2 to 3 hours just to get into the store, and then usually another hour just to check out, because it is that busy. If you are here in Orlando, I highly recommend that you get to one of these two events. My guess is the November one's going to be busier because it'll be around Christmas time. So if you can get to the June one, I think you'll be better off. The Sip and Stroll is also kind of fun and interesting. You walk around Epcot. I believe first there's a little presentation about Christmas. This is usually, around food and wine time. So a little presentation around food and wine, and then you'll sip and stroll around the World Showcase, typically with some kind of an Imagineer that knows something about Epcot, which will be fun and useful. That event is typically a little pricey. I think it's around the $250 per person. For a couple, that's $500. So I hope they don't charge anything for the Mickey's at Glendale, which they typically don't. But you will leave a lot of your money because they typically have a lot of cool things at those pop-up shops.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else. We are passing on infotainment tonight. We are going to just leave you with your own thoughts.
Yes. So send us some things that you would like for us to cover in infotainment. We've got a great list and lots of ideas coming, but we would love to hear from you as well. So let us know what you would like to learn more about or hear more about on infotainment. And we appreciate you listening to the show. There's so many great Disney podcasts out there. So thank you so much for tuning into the Disney Parks podcast. And we will see you in the parks.
The Disney Parks podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.
Like a boat out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through.